for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's going to be called The Last Crusade, since it's probably the last one we'll make. Harrison Ford is getting kind of old. So we're going to start with Indy as a kid stealing his artifact from some grave robbers and then running away from them. Very exciting. Yeah, and then during the chase, he's going to get his chin scar, his fear of snakes, his whip, and then the lead bad guy gives him his cool hat. So he just gets all his iconic elements within a 15-minute period on the same day. He does, yes. And so then one day in the future, while dodging his academic responsibilities, Indy's basically kidnapped by these guys working for Walter Donovan. Who's that? Well, Indy knows exactly who he is. He's a rich art collector guy who's done a lot of donations. Probably didn't need to do that kidnappy thing then. Maybe not. So he tells Indy that his father Henry disappeared while searching for the Holy Grail, which gives you eternal life. Oh, that would let you live eternally. Exactly. But Indy's a little skeptical, you know? A Holy Grail? How is this guy still skeptical about this kind of thing?
After all he's seen?
Unclear. So he receives his father's diary in the mail containing all his Holy Grail research, and he heads to Venice to check stuff out. And what does he do there?
Well, wait, hold on. In the comments, remind me, isn't there a difference in the order of this? Or is it that, which one is it? Is it Temple of Doom before, or Temple of Doom, is that before Raiders of the Lost Ark and then it's Last Crusade? Because there's a timeline thing here, isn't it? I feel like I never knew. But I know it's not Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. Isn't it like Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade? In the comments, remind me, let me know, enlighten me.
He meets up with his father's associate, Dr. Schneider. And what's his deal? Actually, it's what's her deal, sir. Her name is Elsa. Indiana Jones makes the same assumption, which, you know, kind of makes you think. Yeah, it does. Good, that's the point. Really makes me think. I'm just like Indiana frickin' Jones. No, that was, never mind. So what does Indy do with the lady doctor? Well, they follow Henry's research into these catacombs under a library, and Indy lands directly into some petroleum, which he uses to light a torch. Wouldn't that also light him on fire if he's covered in it? Hey, shut up. So they find this old shield that has details about how to get to the Grail, but then they're chased by these Grail protector guys. Oh, very exciting. Yeah. So they manage to escape, and they find out from the leader of this group that Indy's dad is being kept in a castle run by Nazis, and so then Indiana and Schneider hook up. Why? Well, they're both attractive, so they love each other kind of now. Oh, okay, gotcha. So Indy rescues his dad from this Nazi castle, and he's like, oh, thanks for shaving me. He shaves his father. No, that's just how I imagine he would sound. I don't know if we could find an actor who would sound like that. Okay, fine. We'll get Sean Connery. Yes.
Fine.
They'll escape. Actually, no, because it turns out Elsa is a Nazi collaborator, and Henry knew this. Probably should have mentioned that with a note along with the diary. Maybe. Anyway, he knows she's a Nazi because she talks in her sleep. Oh. Yeah, both Indiana Jones and his father hooked up with the same woman, so that's funny to think about in detail. So they get tied to a chair in a room and get left alone. Why wouldn't they leave a guard in there with them? Well, because they need to escape. The movie's not over. That makes sense. So Henry tries to burn the room, but instead sets the entire room on fire. That's right. Oh, a very flammable Nazi castle. They managed to get away, but they're still being chased by Nazis. Uh-oh, gonna be hard to get out of that situation. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, they do this really clever thing where they set a boat off to pretend they left in it, then they hide in a crate with a motorcycle in it, and then take off as soon as the Nazis step into another boat. And wait like an extra minute till they're out on the water, because then there wouldn't be a cool motorcycle chase scene. Oh, okay, gotcha. Now the bad guys have the diary, so Indy and his dad have to sneak into Nazi Berlin to get it. How do they get into Berlin undetected? Off screen. So now that they have the boat, it's time for another chase scene.
We're done.
Boy, yeah, and they're gonna escape into this mountain tunnel thing, and a plane's gonna try to chase them and crash. Why would someone fly a plane into a tunnel? Because explosions are fun to look at. That's a good point. Nice of that pilot to make that sacrifice for us. Anyway, eventually they're gonna get to the temple where the Grail is, and Donovan's trying to get these guys to go through the traps you gotta go to the temple where the Grail is, and
wasn't this in a Transformers movie? Was this like a reused thing? I feel like I've seen this like in another movie. I feel like it. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I don't know.
Donovan's trying to get these guys to go through the traps you gotta go through, but they keep dying. Oh boy. And Donovan's gonna shoot Henry in the stomach. A very evil Nazi. Yeah, now the only way to save him is for him to drink from the Grail, so Indy has to go through these traps. The chops have never been higher. Steaks. I don't eat beef. Okay, so the clue that they have for the first trap is that the penitent man is humble before God. Okay. So he realizes that means he needs to kneel, so he gets down and dodges a blade and then does a little roll to dodge another one. So the penitent man kneels kneels before God and also does a cool little ninja roll. Exactly, like in the scriptures.
Yeah.
And then there's this floor where Indy has to jump on letters spelling the name of God, and if he messes up, he falls to his death. Yeah, and he accidentally jumps onto a J, but in the original spelling of Jehovah, it starts with an I. How does he survive that? He grabs onto the L and the Y to hoist himself up. Those letters are also not in Jehovah. Hey, shut up again. So then there's a bridge that's painted to look like there's no bridge. Well, losing the paint jobs are tight. And so finally, Indy finds himself in a room with an ancient knight, and there are a bunch of cups and plates, and Indy has to figure out which one is the Holy Grail.
I love this
Probably
scene.
not one of the plates. But then Elsa and Donovan show up, and she gives Donovan the wrong Grail, so he dies.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That always scared me too as a kid.
So Indy finds the right one and saves his dad, but the knight tells him they can't leave with the Grail. That's kind of the whole thing. Why would that be a rule? Because, but then Elsa does try to leave with it, so the whole temple starts collapsing.
That's right.
And Indy tries to save her from falling, but she reaches for the Grail, so she falls and dies. Fatal. And then Indy's about to fall, and he reaches for the Grail.
He didn't see her,
knows he can't leave with. Correct. But then his dad tells him to let it go, and they ride off into the sunset together. Wow. Well, that's a perfect place to end it, right? I mean, he's taken on the Ark of the Covenant, Sankara stones, the Holy Grail. Can't get much crazier than that.
Yep. Kingdom of Crystal Skull aliens were mistakes as Indiana Jones writer. Yeah. But I actually kind of like Crystal Skull better than the Dial of Destiny, that's for sure. If I were to choose, actually Dial of Destiny is like on the way bottom of the list for me. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, at least it had the feeling and the aura and the tone of the original movies in a better way than Dial of Destiny did. I would 100% say that. 100%. But so wait, so one person saying Raiders is first, but then wait a minute, hold on. So wait, Temple of Doom is 2, Last Crusade is 3rd, and where they should have ended it. Yeah, for sure. But I need to look this up. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay? Hold the phone. Chronological chronological order. Okay, that's what I need. I think I was right. This is IGN, okay? This is IGN, but this was a timeline of Indiana Jones. The series began in 1981 with the film Raiders of the Lost Ark. In 1984, a prequel, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, was released, and in 1989, a sequel, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. A 4th film followed, of course, I was right. I don't remember how I found this out, though. But, I mean, there's Young Indiana Jones, that was a TV show, and then it's the Temple of Doom is first, then Raiders of the Lost Ark, then Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, then Crystal Skull, then Dial of Destiny. I was right. Can I even see that? Is this too small? Dude, can I even zoom? I've used this just a little bit. I know I could do like, there we go. Yeah, that, boom. Oh, I'm in the way. Yeah, see that? Right there. That. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, theatrical. Yeah, no, theatrical I get. Yeah, sorry. I meant chronological as far as the timeline of the movies when things are happening. That's what I was going with. As far as chronological, yes, Raiders is first. Yes. And it was one that I did not prefer for a while. And now I actually rather enjoy it. But yeah, the 4th, Steve, to your point, the 4th is an abomination, I think, at the time until Dial of Destiny came out. That's my opinion. That's just me. I think Dial of Destiny is the worst one. That monkey scene, yes, that monkey scene, that was something. It was a little bit out there. But I don't know. It was fun. It kind of reminded me of Temple of Doom because that's still my favorite, even though it's probably the worst of all of them, technically, from a story perspective. Because it's so silly. Temple of Doom and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull are probably neck and neck in that regard, as far as just the ridiculousness of what happens in the movie. But I do prefer them both, definitely, over Dial of Destiny. Last Crusade might be the best. Raiders is still pretty good, but that's a tough one. Again, for me, it's Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Raiders, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Dial of Destiny. That's still where it goes for me. It's rough. This is one series I hope they don't try to reboot and do over. And if they do, I hope it's Chris Pratt. If they do, they'll probably find somebody else that can do it justice, I'm sure. But Short Round and Temple of Doom was one of the best parts. Plus, it's one of the funnier of all the movies in the series. It's got some of the most funny moments for me, like the scene when they're in that area, that like death trap, and he's like, "We are going to die." Like, that's hilarious. The dinner scene where they're eating stuff out of like the monkey brains and all the nasty food and stuff. It was definitely not a movie that was nice to the like in Indian culture, essentially, or I believe it was like India, right? Ooh, yeah, it was very questionable, but it was questionable. Still, I enjoy them. Battle of Destiny, not as much. Like, I don't think I'll probably never watch that again. Maybe after years and years, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I could watch that again. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I probably watch Dial of Destiny again once I do like another like marathon of them, because we did that with my kids. We watched all of them through 3, I think. Yeah. Or did we just watch Temple of Doom? Crap, I can't remember now. I need to do like a marathon. Just get through all of them again. See how I feel. But yeah, that was a good one. Again, your thoughts though in the comments below. Funniest part from this though, because that was pretty hilarious.